엠쌤입니다. Preparing for today's lesson was a little bit difficult for me because I haven't been studying Korean for the past 2 or 3 months. Yes, I know, terrible, so terrible of me, but I have just been so swamped with university work and now I'm done. Yes! Congratulations to all of you who are done together with me, whether you're in high school, college, middle school, university, whatever it is. If you're done with your studies and you're enjoying summer, congratulations. If you're still in your exams, good luck. You got this. It'll be over soon, and you'll be able to get back to your amazing hobby, which is, of course, learning Korean. So for today's lesson, I really had to dig deep into my memory and find something that I've learned before, but I haven't shared with all of you guys. I decided to focus on Korean compound verbs, find out how to form them, where they come from, and why do we use them, and also through that hopefully introduce some more Korean vocabulary, some more verb vocabulary, because I feel like I have not been doing that nearly enough for you guys in my weekly Korean series, so let's get to it! First and foremost, what are compound verbs? Well, these verbs are basically made out of 2 or more, in some cases, are there any cases? Verbs in order to specify the meaning of whatever you're talking about. So let's take some very simple common Korean verbs, like 가다 and 오다. 가다 means to go, 오다 means to come. So let's say I want to ask my friend, when are they going to Korea? I can easily ask that by saying 언제 한국에 가요? But what if my friend has already been to Korea and they're going back to Korea? How do I emphasize the fact that I'm asking when they're going there again, like returning, coming back? In English, we either use a different verb, like return, or we add the word back, go back to something. But in Korean, we take 2 verbs and then bam, make a love baby of a compound verb. If I want to ask someone if they're going back or they're coming back, I would add a verb, 돌다. 돌다 means to spin or to go around. If we take 돌다, we take 가다, we put them together, and we put them together using a or 어, depending on whatever vowel there is in the stem of the first verb. And then we end up with 돌아가다, 돌아가다, or 돌아오다. So 돌아가다 would be to go back to, and 돌아오다 would be to come back to. So now when I'm asking my friend when they're going back to Korea, I would be asking 언제 한국에 돌아가요? At this point, you may ask, well then when do we use 돌아가다 compared to 돌아오다? Because at the end of the day, they both kind of mean to return to. What's the difference? Well, in English, there really isn't any. I can ask both questions and they will kind of be the same thing, just like a slight difference in meaning. But in Korean, usually, if I am located in the place I'm talking about, then I would be saying 오다, because it's kind of like that person is coming back to me, to where I am. But if I'm not in Korea and I'm inquiring about Korea, I can just say 돌아가다, because I'm not physically present in that location. So if I want to ask my mom when is she coming back to London to visit me, I would ask 엄마, 언제 런던에 돌아와요? Or if I'm really trying to specify the future tense, I would ask 엄마, 언제 런던에 돌아올까요? Hopefully that made sense. I'll try my best to write a blog post for this and post it on my website. I'm sorry there's been a bit of a confusion between the domains. I've changed the domain of the website because the old one expired and I just didn't want to have the name YouTube in there because copyright and trademark issues. Yeah, I didn't want to deal with that. So now my website's name is margaritakorean.com. Could not be any more clever than this. I could not come up with a creative name for it. If you guys have any ideas, do let me know. But for now, it is going to be margaritakorean.com. So head over there. I will try to put a link in the description box for the blog post where I'll put loads more examples of compound Korean verbs. Now let's move on to the verb that gets connected not through a, like 돌아가다, but through 어, like 들어가다 or 들어오다. So we know that 가다 and 오다 means to go and to come, but what is 들다? 들다 in Korean means to enter, but honestly, it is one of those Korean verbs like 쓰다, I would say, that is used in so many different instances and it has so many different meanings. It can be used for its exact meaning, but it can also be used metaphorically, like something has entered my heart, for example. And I would also use 들다, but it wouldn't mean that something's physically entering my heart. It's just something that I like. So, man, 들다 is a complicated verb. I think I should really make a weekly Korean episode specifically focusing on that verb, but not today. Today, let's focus on compound verbs. So, when putting 들다 and 가다 or 오다 together, we end up with to come in or to go into something. For example, if I want to say that a woman has gone into a department store, I would say 그녀는 백화점에 들어갔어요. But if I want to specify that someone, for example, a teacher, is entering a place, for example, a classroom, by the means of coming, I would say 선생님은 교실에 돌아왔어요. The teacher has entered the room. The teacher came into the room. Here, the difference is literally minor. I personally have heard the phrase 들어가요 or 들어가세요 in Korean dramas a lot when, let's say, there is a butler or there is a security guard and there's a person standing in front of the door not being able to enter, but then they allow them to enter and they're like, yeah, go in. Or when someone knocks on the door and the person from inside says, oh yeah, come in. The last example I want to give, I myself am not actually sure about this. This is just me trying to research more examples for you guys and trying to make sense of it on my own as a student. As you all know, I'm not a native Korean speaker, so this is what I found out. This is what I've deduced from my research. So do let me know if you're a native Korean speaker or a tutor if I'm correct or not. So, another compound word that I thought about from like the top of my head was 도망가다 or 도망치다. And fundamentally, they both mean the same thing, to escape, to run away. But there is a difference between them. 도망 as a noun in Korean is an escape. 가다 we know is to go, and 치다 means to strike or to hit. So 도망가다 obviously means to run away, to escape by the means of going. But 도망치다 in my head is to escape by the means of striking, hitting, by the means of violence. So to me, 도망치다 is more like breaking out. So I personally would use it in a sentence like 어젯밤에 살인자는 감옥에서 도망쳤어요. Last night, a murderer escaped prison or ran away from prison or broke out of prison. And 도망갔어요 or 도망가다, I would use with something like 제 친구가 집에서 도망갔어요. My friend ran away from his house. Like, it wasn't a violent or it wasn't like an extreme running away. It was just like, yeah, he ran away from his house. I don't know. This is the difference I feel like there is doing my research and trying to like dissect and figure out what the word meanings are. Do let me know if I am wrong or if I'm misunderstanding something. This is just my learning process that I'm sharing with all of you guys, hoping that it will help you. So yes, if you learned something new today, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more. And if you have any questions, comments, advice for me, please leave them in the comments. I will be really, really happy to read them and respond. So yeah, I hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful end of the week. I hope we're gonna have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all later this week. Bye! 안녕!